Para sa panibagong taon ng kaalaman at inspirasyon, ang Layag Weekly Waves ay magbabalik para sa ikalawang yugto. Sama-sama nating pagnilayan ang mga kwento ng tagumpay, hamon at pagbabago na nagbubuklod sa ating komunidad. Abangan ang mas makabuluhang talakayan at mas makulay na paglalayag.
Magandang araw mga suking tagapanood. Inihandog ng DILG Local Governance Regional Resource Center 9 ang Layag Weekly Waves. Ang Layag Weekly Waves ay isang lingguhang recap ng mga balita, aktibidad at programa ng kagawaran na naglalayong magbibigay ng mahalagang impormasyon at inspirasyon para sa ating mga pamayanan. Ngayong ikalawang yugto, mas pinaganda at mas pinaigting ang ating layunin na maging kaagapay ninyo sa paglalayag tungo sa kaunlaran. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, 𝗟R𝘆𝗴 Admin Ed4 mula sa Finance Administrative Division. Samahan niyo po ako sa ating recap ng mga kaganapan ngayong linggo. At para simulan ang ating paglalayag, narito ang recap ng mga aktibidad na isinagawa ng kagawaran sa nakaraang linggo.
Key officials and focal persons in Region 9 met virtually on April 7, 2025 to finalize submission and recognize top barangays for the 2025 LTIA National Phase. A 4-batch regional orientation on the 2024 SGLG Incentive Fund was held to guide LGUs in Zamboanga Peninsula on updated policies and align proposals with transformative, community-focused governance. On April 7, 2025, a retooling session reoriented process owners on the QP23 process and reporting updates to ensure consistent implementation and improve service delivery. The MSAC held its first quarter meeting to align efforts and strengthen collaboration in advancing local governance and capacity development in Zamboanga Peninsula. The LTIA Regional Validation and Coaching began in Barangay Sumadat, Dumalinaw, Zamboanga del Sur to evaluate top-performing Lupon Tagapamayapa in Region 9. A 2-day inspection in Zamboanga del Norte showed major progress in LGSF, SAFPB, fiscal year 2024 water system projects. On April 10, 2025, DILG IX and the city government of Dapitan signed an agreement to establish Dapitan City as a skill center to enhance local governance through capacity building. A regional meeting aligned local efforts with OGP and SLGP, focusing on localizing OGP principles and fostering participatory governance. The first quarter ICAD 9 meeting on April 11, 2025 focused on addressing drug issues and supporting PWUD's rehabilitation for a safer community. A coordination meeting was held to develop a JEDC-sensitive assessment tool to improve LGU's evacuation plans and centers for vulnerable groups.
Ngayon naman, ating silipin ang mga aktibidad mula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng rehiyon sa segment na News from the Field.
In our commitment towards excellence in local governance, DILG Zamboanga del Norte presents this week's News from the Field. This is 𝗪𝗏𝗪 of the Project Development and Management section bringing you our highlights of the week.
𝗟𝘆𝗴 the sub-LGRRC coordinator of DILG Zamboanga del Norte, attended the first quarter regular meeting of the Regional Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Council last April 8, 2025 at the 𝗥𝗶𝗰 State College, Pagadian City. And 𝗥𝗶𝗰𝗵𝗿 𝗪𝗃𝗲 with Engineer Signar and the field officers of the SGLG 2024 LGU awardees attended the Cell of Good Local Governance Incentive Fund Implementation Guideline Workshop of the DILG Region 9. DILG 9 and the City Government of Dapitan formalized Skill Center partnership through MOA signing as the Pitan City now belongs to an elite few of LGUs as skill center. In finalization of the 2025 work plan and updates of the proposed programs under the LGRRC, the core facility heads and members conducted its first meeting for the second quarter last April 11, 2025. In preparation of the LCPC Functionality Assessment 2025, DILG Zamboanga del Norte through LGO6 Glenn Anthony M. Abalos and LGO2 𝗏𝗪𝗀 𝗪𝗃𝗲 actively participated in the technical deepening session with the Provincial Inter-Agency Monitoring Task Force on April 8, 2025 at Hall 3 Provincial Capital, Barangay Estaca, Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte. As a practitioner of participatory and community-involved governance, DILG Katipunan Ngunit Ruaya Ahmad conducted its monthly Liga ng mga Barangay Secretaries meeting last April 11, 2025 at the DILG Katipunan office, boosting confidence and morale of the Barangay Secretaries on their functions and local governance. MLGOO Lourdes Teresa Cinco Ducal attended the 2nd Provincial Mobile Force Company Council meeting last April 10, 2025 at Diloy, Zamboanga del Norte, tackling initiatives on peace and order, thus promoting a safe and secure province for all sa Nortehanons. DILG Rizal Lenin Mark Ramos was invited and attended the Colegio de San Francisco Javier's Institutional Research Congress last April 10, 2025, giving inputs on focusing studies that would promote local development and outsourcing for possible innovations for LGU Rizal.
That's a wrap for this week. Keep in touch next week for more transparent and accountable DILG Zamboanga del Norte. This is News from the Field.
Hello everyone, this is Ray Lehman, Administrative Aide 6 of DILG Zamboanga Sibugay Provincial Office, bringing you the highlights of this week's Layag Waves. On March 21, 2025, the Provincial Interagency Monitoring Team led a table assessment of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and LCPC of Zamboanga Sibugay's 16 municipalities. This annual activity evaluated council functionality, addressed challenges, and validated pre-assessment data to guide capacity building efforts and ensure effective operations. In March 2025, the DILG Zamboanga Sibugay congratulated LGUs in the province who attained the highest level of functionality in the LCPC and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 functionality assessment, reflecting their strong commitment to protecting children and women and building safer and more nurturing communities. On April 8, 2025, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, Zamboanga Sibugay, in partnership with the Local Government Unit of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Barangay Mabuhay, 𝗏𝗏, Zamboanga Sibugay, concluded its celebration of the National Women's Month with a program at Barangay Mabuhay Covered Court, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. The highlights of the celebration include the conduct of a cleanup drive and signing of Pledge of Commitment to Women's Rights, highlighting the community's dedication to women empowerment and gender equality. Once again, this is Ray Lehman. See you again next week for more latest news from the field.
Panagdahil sa tanan, I am 𝗥𝗶𝗃𝗪, your student intern from St. Columban College, bringing you this week Ganap sa Field.
ISO 1 Mark Paras, together with LGRRC 𝗟𝘆𝗴 𝗪𝗃𝗲𝗀 conducted an orientation on Barangay Information Management System for Barangay Secretaries on April 10, 2025. The DILG Zamboanga Luzon Provincial Office participated in the Kalinisan program at Barangay San Francisco on April 12, 2025. GPDMU engineers, Engineer John Edward Abordo at Engineer 𝗟𝘆𝗴 𝗪𝗃𝗲𝗀 conducted site inspection and monitoring of the improvement of Bulawan, Sayog Farm to Market Road with 3 borrowed box culvert. On April 10, the DILG Dinas Field Office together with other agencies convened for the 𝗥𝗶𝗰 validation team meeting. The DILG Dinas Field Office conducted a one-day workshop seminar on Barangay Information Management System for barangay secretaries. LGRRC Field Office conducted kalinisan validation for the first quarter CY 2025 on Barangay Regla and Barangay 𝗟𝘆𝗴 𝗪𝗃𝗲𝗃. On the next day, the DILG Field Office conducted kalinisan validation for the first quarter CY 2025 on Barangay Lintong and Barangay 𝗟𝘆𝗴 𝗪𝗃𝗲𝗃. The DILG Pablo Field Office joins the turnover and blessing ceremony of a 2-story commercial building San Pablo Public Market 2021 Falco project on April 8, 2025.
And those are the highlights for this week, ganap sa field. For more news and updates, please follow our official Facebook page, DILG Zamboanga del Sur. #ZSur Past the Limit.
Buenos dias, this is 𝗟𝘆𝘆 𝗪𝗃𝗪𝗃𝗀 welcoming you to another episode of the DILG IX Layag Weekly Waves, highlighting the updates and recap of the happenings in last week.
On April 10, 2025, LGRRC Angelita E. Santillas and administrative staff Patricia Ann Soya attended the second quarter Zamboanga City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council meeting held at CDRRM office, Zamboanga City. On April 11, 2025, City Director Gina Jean S. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and LGRRC Angelita E. Santillas attended the online first quarter Regional Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs ICAD 9 meeting presided by DILG 9 Regional Director Paisal O. Abutazil. On April 11, 2025, City Director Gina Jean 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and LGRRC Anang Lia Sahi attended the first semester Barangay Assembly of Barangay San Roque, Zamboanga City.
And that concludes another week of Layag Weekly Waves from DILG Zamboanga. Your continue to support to the initiative of the department has redefined local governance in this part of the region. This is 𝗟𝘆𝘆 𝗪𝗃𝗪𝗃𝗀 saying thank you and watch and happy weekend. Adios!
Buenos dias, Assalamualaikum. This is Alma Julie greeting you. Happy Isabela, live from the happy city of Isabela. Be with me as I present to you the DILG Isabela City activities for this week.
April 7, 2025, Police Colonel 𝗪𝗏𝗪 𝗪𝗃𝗪, Chief of the Regional Community Affairs and Development Division, Police Regional Office 9, paid a courtesy visit to the DILG Isabela City Field Office. The meeting focused on critical updates and strategies concerning the ongoing anti-illegal drugs campaign in the city. On the same day, personnel from the Bureau of Fire Protection also visited the DILG Field Office to conduct a fire prevention assessment. This activity is part of the regular monitoring and safety inspection initiatives in line with the government's fire prevention efforts. April 10, 2025, LGRRC 𝗟𝘆𝗴 𝗪𝗃𝗪𝗃𝗀 together with the representatives from the City Planning and Development Office and the City Engineers Office attended an orientation on the City of Good Local Governance Incentive Fund S02LGIF at the DILG Regional Office 9. The activity aimed to ensure alignment with program guidelines and enhance local government readiness in accessing the said incentive fund.
At iyan po ang mga balitang hatid namin ngayong linggo. Muli, manatiling nakatutok, makilahok at makialam. Samahan kami muli sa susunod na linggo para sa mga kwento at balitang mahalaga sa inyo. Ako po si Richard Rendon Merida, nag-iiwan ng paalala na magkaisa tayo sa paglalayag tungo sa maunlad na bukas. Ito ang Layag Weekly Waves, ang inyong kaagapay sa kaalaman at pagbabago, padayon sa paglayag, Rehiyon 9.
Layag.